Good day, everyone. Welcome to the Healthy Living Festival. Our guest speaker for today is a graduate from the University of the Philippines College of Medicine. He studied acupuncture at Nanjing University of Traditional Chinese Medicine. He studied herbology at Beijing University of Traditional Chinese Medicine. His current affiliations is at the University of the Philippines College of Medicine and Chinese General Hospital College of Medicine in the Philippines. He's a certified medical acupuncturist and a certified in traditional Chinese medicine. Ladies and gentlemen, to discuss today's topic on healing the hepatic, a TCM approach to liver health, let's all welcome Dr. Philip Nino Tan Gatwe. Hi, Doc.
Hello, Ma'am Grace. Thank you once again for inviting me to be here. Our background color here, lots of green, lots of leaves. Very, very appropriate for the topic today, as you will learn why once we get this show on the road. There we go. So today, as was mentioned earlier, we are going to be discussing healing the hepatic, a TCM approach to liver health. Right. So the liver is the largest internal organ in the body. That's because the skin is considered the largest overall organ. But inside the body, the liver is the biggest one of all. And it has to be because it performs at least 500 different vital functions. Now, traditional Chinese medicine, it actually classifies, or should I say, assigns roles to the different organs. Like the heart is the emperor, the lung is the prime minister, the liver in particular is compared to a military general, as you can see in the picture beside it. And we'll see later on why. Next slide, please. Now, the Western functions of the liver, as I said, there's a multitude of them, but we're just going to concentrate on the most important ones. First is the production of bile. Bile is necessary for the emulsification of fats in digestion. Okay, um, so without bile, we'll have a hard time digesting fatty foods or even the lipid structures incorporated into other foods. It produces proteins for the blood plasma, which is important in maintaining homeostasis or the proper circulation of blood. It produces cholesterol and other special proteins to carry fats to and from our fat cells. You may know some of these proteins, very familiar from our routine blood chemistry exams. It also is responsible for the conversion of excess glucose to glycogen. So it's stored in the liver as glycogen and can transform it back. So you can see it's very, very important in metabolism of the food we eat. The digestive system does the majority of the grinding down into smaller molecules, but the liver is in charge of processing them. It's also involved in the regulation of blood amino acids. Amino acids are the building blocks of various proteins. So while they circulate around for our body to use. Iron is an important mineral for our blood. In fact, when people are anemic, we usually give iron supplements, do we not? That's because iron is necessary in hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is the protein which carries oxygen around the blood. So you can see how important that is. It also is involved with the storage of iron in the body. Now, other things that the liver is known for is conversion of ammonia, which is toxic, into urea, which eventually goes out of our body in the urine. The liver can also be considered a cleaning lady, a processing plant, because it helps clear the blood of the drugs and poisons. That's why when we give medicines, any medicines, we always watch its effects on the liver. The liver also creates various proteins that are responsible for regulating our immune system. And it's also responsible for the clearance of bilirubin from the body. Since we know how important the liver is, let's take a look at some of the diseases that are commonly associated with the liver. Again, there are many more, but let's just focus on the more common ones. Hepatitis, a word that means the liver is inflamed, either from infection or from other reasons, such as too much alcohol or the like. Because alcohol, what we drink, is processed by the liver. And if we drink too much, the liver can't handle the workload. And so its ability to process fats is a little uh, affected. And thus, you have fat stored in the liver itself. And this is shown clinically as alcohol associated fatty liver. Later on, when the liver can't take the abuse anymore, you can have what we call cirrhosis, which is an actual change in the liver itself, and basically it's functioning less and less. Now, the liver has an amazing ability to regenerate when needed. The problem is if the damage caused to it is done at a higher rate than its ability to fix itself, then you might end up putting the liver in a state where it is difficult for it to repair itself, if at all. There are other inflammations associated with the vessels associated with and in the liver, such as primary biliary cholangitis and sclerosing cholangitis. And of course, as I said, since the liver always has a good chance of regenerating itself, there's always the possibility of the rise of mutated cells that form liver cancers. Also, since the liver processes a lot of blood coming from all over the body, there's always a chance that a cancer cell coming from somewhere else can enter, penetrate, and settle down in the liver. So you have primary liver cancers and you have metastatic liver cancers. In fact, just between you and I, a lot of cancers elsewhere are discovered when they start affecting the liver. Now, what are the signs that we can see that might tell us that the liver might be having some problems? First and foremost, liver problems are associated with jaundice. Jaundice is a term indicating a yellowish discoloration, usually starting with the eyes and then going on to the rest of the body, to this, or the skin in particular. This is because of the improper metabolism of bile. We can also have belly pain from the swelling of the liver, ascites, which is a technical term for filling up of the lower abdomen, the belly, with fluid. This is an effect of the problems with the proteins in the blood and other reasons. For the same reason, you can have swollen legs and ankles. You can have spilling of various pigments into the urine, making it dark. You can have pale stools because the coloring that's supposed to go into the schools is going elsewhere. The bloatedness leads to poor appetite, nausea, and vomiting. You can have easy bruisability or bleeding because of the deranged clotting factors, itching, red palms, gynecomastia, which is an abnormal enlargement of the breasts in males. That's because of the hormonal problems associated with the liver dysfunction, even dry eyes and mouth. But that's enough with Western medicine for now. Let's take a quick look at what Chinese medicine has to say. And when we talk about Chinese medicine, we end up looking at the Huangdi Neijing, or the Yellow Emperor's Classic of Internal Medicine. Chapter 8 says that the liver is the organ serving as a general, from whom the strategy comes out. So there's the key word there, strategy. Things, the proper way to do things, how to handle a problem. Chapter 9 says that the liver corresponds to the sinews. These are tendons, ligaments. Their luster is reflected on the fingernails, and it is restrained by the lung as part of the five element restraining and enriching cycles. The liver has an affinity for the sour, and the color green as well as the sour correspond to the liver. Hence, our very, very appropriate slide theme today. And in particular, the liver dislikes wind. So wind causing foods, and when the wind is, and when the, so the wind causing foods, or when the liver is inflamed either by our emotions or by our food or by our lifestyle, it can also produce internal wind, which is associated with neurologic problems. Another major function of the liver is that it stores blood and regulates its smooth flow, just as a general deploys his soldiers. So, a lot of consequences here is that it directly affects women's menstruation. In addition to that, skin, muscles, the, the eyes, which are associated with the liver, by the way, all must be nourished by blood for proper function. So, deficiency of liver blood can lead to absence or scanty periods. Because if the liver blood is deficient, what's there for it to regulate? Now, excess heat affecting the blood stored in the liver can also lead to the opposite, heavy menses. Imagine having a normal amount of fluid inside a cooking pot, heating it too much, and it overflows. And if the liver chi and liver blood is stagnant because of stress, emotions, or poor diet, you can have the chi and blood not move at all or move very irregularly, leading to pain and thus dysmenorrhea. The liver is associated with the wood element. Just like a tree, the wood element spreads out in all directions. And so, the liver ensures smooth flow of chi throughout the body. What happens when liver chi obstruction or stagnation happens? It can be caused by and be a result of emotional swings and irritability. So, if you're always in a bad mood, your menses are affected, your muscles become more tense. You've heard of people complaining about pain in their shoulders when they're stressed, right? This is similar. Smooth flow also leads to good digestive function, while unsmooth flow leads to things going in the wrong direction. So instead of going down, they go up, resulting in symptoms such as belching, nausea, vomiting, and the like. And most of all, it also affects the flow of bile. So as you can see, the Chinese and Western point of view of the liver, they're not exactly the same, but they are very similar to each other. Liver blood controls the sinews, moistens, nourishes them. So if the liver blood is healthy, we can move freely. If not, you have stiffness, rigidity, joint pain, muscle spasms, or even tremors. Next slide, please. It presents in the nails. So if there's a problem with the liver, especially damp heat, you can see what we might call fungal infections. Deficiency of liver blood leads to brittle, soft, pale, dry nails that break easily. It manifests in the eyes, just as I mentioned earlier. So, without adequate liver function, especially liver blood, we can have dryness, blurred vision, night blindness, and floaters. Amazingly, in Western medicine, the vitamin associated with proper seeing of objects at night is vitamin A, and vitamin A is stored, guess where? In the liver. Heat in the liver can lead to bloodshot eyes, while internal liver wind can cause convulsions, sometimes manifesting as the eyes rolling up. Excessive tears or dry eyes can also show an imbalance of the liver. Too little liver blood or liver yin can cause dryness because the blood moisturizes in Chinese medicine, while when you're very angry or you're often frustrated, the liver yang starts to rise. Also, because if your kidney yin is deficiency and unable to hold the liver yang in place, it starts going up because yin yang goes up, yin goes down. So all that stuff going up can cause excessive physiology and thus watery eyes. Now, here's a little funky thing. In Chinese cosmology, human beings have, we can say, two souls or two aspects of our soul that are can be translated as the soul in Western physiology. One aspect is with the lungs, but we're not going to talk about that right now. We're going to talk about the ethereal soul or the hun, which is associated with the liver. This, just like the good general, influences our capacity to plan our life and find a sense of direction. It is rooted and nourished by liver yin and blood, and it is most active at night because it's yin and helps determine our quality of sleep. So many times we can sleep, but the quality of sleep is not that good. So if the liver yin and liver blood is not adequate, it leads to weakness of the hun, which can lead to what we call an uprooted ethereal soul. So patients like that feel a lack of direction. They can sleep, but it's very, very disturbed by dreams. Anger is the emotion associated with the liver. And the word anger here can also include feelings such as frustration, resentment, repressed anger, rage, or even jealousy. I find that interesting because in Western culture, jealousy is associated with green eyed monsters or turning green with envy. So, all these repressed anger or jealousy can lead to stagnated liver chi. The chi is not moving. And this can give rise to even more feelings of lingering anger. So, we live in a world where stress is constant, where we cannot help but be irritated, to get angry. How do we prevent ourselves from falling into a trap, into that vicious cycle? Well, there are many herbs in TCM that are here to help with liver function. First and foremost is what they call the female version of ginseng, tangkui, Chinese angelica root. It tonifies and moves the blood. So indirectly, it helps with liver blood. It regulates menstruation and alleviates pain. You might find these in a lot of traditional recipes. Shengjiang is a common herb in our kitchens. It's fresh ginger. It does not directly affect the liver, but it helps protect from the effects of an overreactive and over angry liver by protecting the spleen or the earth or the digestion. So, just because it doesn't directly affect the liver doesn't mean we cannot use it to help take care of ourselves when the liver is problematic. Poha or mint, very, very common as a flavoring to try to spice things up, make things taste cool, smell good. It's pungent and cooling, directly enters the liver channel, and the pungency helps move that stagnated chi and helps clear liver heat from the eyes. It's also very good in expelling wind, stop itching, and can be used for certain types of headaches, particularly in the front. Chai hu, very, very common in many products available in popular coffee shops, chai tea, lattes, and the like. It's a guiding herb for the liver. So a lot of other herbs, they are directed to the liver by this herb. It helps soothe the liver. So we talked about the liver being tense, being angry. This one helps ease that tension away and helps that depressed, stagnant chi move again. Hua is a or chrysanthemum flower is very, very common in Asian cuisines. It pacifies the liver and brightens the eyes. It can subdue liver yang and help clear liver heat. What you're seeing here is the ordinary white chrysanthemum. The wild chrysanthemum is more darker yellow and has even stronger effects. Goji tzu or goji berries. Now, there have been a lot of talk about the benefits of goji berries in various other medical traditions. I don't want to go into that. I'm going to stick with traditional Chinese medicine, where they nourish liver and kidney yin. Interestingly, the color red also gives us a hint that it supplements blood, not just blood that flows, but on a deeper level, our own kidney essence. It also helps to improve vision. So, personally, I sometimes like to, and I'm sure you've seen this around Southeast Asia and China and other Asian countries. People make teas from chrysanthemum flower and goji berries. They steep them together because one is cool, goji berry is warm. Perfect. They balance each other out. Pai Shao is Chinese peony root. It's one of the best herbs of the sour flavor. So sour flavor associated with the liver. It soothes the liver, alleviates pain, and regulates menstrual cycles. It also helps with muscle tension, especially when combined with kanchao or licorice root. So, what about some more tips to support the liver in addition to common herbs? First, the diet. We'd like to eat more greens because green is associated with the liver. So, green vegetables always, even not just for the liver, it's good for everything. And the sour flavor, of course, too much is also bad, but a good amount should help keep the chi flowing. So, citrus fruits, fermented foods, pickled foods, and especially green leafy vegetables. That's why one of my favorites are uh, pickled vegetables. I love those things. Also, since the liver is connected to the sinews, we have to keep moving. Tai Chi exercises are very good, structured exercises that help flex and extend almost every part of our body in coordination with each other. But if we can't do that, even just the act of walking around a uh, a few blocks, a few flights of stairs, but most especially in a nice, green, healthy environment. But even not just walking around, it's already very good to keep the blood moving and the chi flowing. Also, we have to get plenty of rest. Blood collects in the liver at night, so people who stay up late too much end up chronically having deficient liver blood. The tip here is to sleep before 11 p.m., the hour of the liver. Other herbs that are not necessarily used in Chinese medicine directly for the liver, but are is very very popular in the West and in other traditions, include milk thistle, because it's rich in antioxidants, has been shown in studies to increase protein synthesis in liver cells and chelate iron and help prevent cancers. Finally, we have paper mulberry, which is rich in antioxidants. It's known as a skin lightening agent, but it can also help the liver process all those nasty free radicals around the body. Anyway, so that's our last slide for today. Ma'am Grace, would you like to add something?
Wow, we learned a lot for today, Doc Phil, about taking care of our liver. Thank you so much for all those learning.
Thank you very much. So I take my leave and I leave the stage to you.
Thank you. At this point, let's get to know a lot of our Sunrider products that we can incorporate in our daily life, especially as we take care of our liver health. First, we have Assimilate. We achieve digestive balance through this amazing product. We digest our food more quickly, efficiently, and comfortably with our nourishing complex of herbs, atractylodes, and pinelia roots soothe the stomach and intestinal tract, while orange peel treats indigestion and fennel seed provides antioxidant protection. So again, this great product promotes healthy digestion, promotes regularity, and it's made with all natural ingredients. Kali cleanses the body with antioxidants, soothing served hot, delicious served cold. Zero fat, preservatives, or artificial sweeteners. Is kosher and halal certified. So there you go. Here are the references for today's topic, healing the hepatic, a TCM approach to liver health. Thank you for joining us today. Let's continue to lead a healthy life with Sunrider.